So, I was watching a video by Count Dankula on his second channel, and towards the end of the video it was called like the leftist group chat was leaked or something like that, and it was about Signal group chats being leaked that were connected with Minneapolis protests, and it seems to be a lot of insurrection, boogaloo kind of shit. Um, against ICE agents and ICE occupation in Minneapolis. But towards the end of the video, he said something that like really irked me because it was about illegal Mexican immigrants and about how these leftists care more about these illegal immigrants more than their own native countrymen. Now, I'm not from Minneapolis, but I have to say, even if I'm not from Minneapolis, I still do feel offended. Of course, the Californian is offended, of course. But yes, I am from California, and well, legal or illegal, uh, Mexican culture is part of California culture. California culture has always been since 1850 or 1849 or whatever, or since the end of the Mexican War, whenever the US occupied California as a territory, it's been Mexican American culture. But before that, it was Mexican culture. And before that, and before that, and before that, blah blah blah. But that's not relevant. The point is that that the non-Mexican population here in California, they're the real immigrants. The root of California culture has always been Mexican culture. And I would even go as far to say that California is still part of Mexico. It's part of Mexico as a culture, even if it's not under the Mexican ruling class, it's under the United States ruling class. And ever since it's been part of the United States ruling class, it's obviously been not just Mexican culture, it's obviously Mexican American culture. But, all the shit that is going down in Europe and what Count Dankula is facing over there is a different situation than like uh, both legal and illegal, quote unquote, illegal immigrants coming up from Mexico and all over the world too, flooding in the United States. Yes, there are problems. It's obviously I don't I don't defend the welfare state. And I don't think it's all good, but I still abide by the libertarian creed. And to be consistent as a libertarian, I have to say that state borders don't exist, and people can cross these imaginary fake borders all they want back and forth, doesn't matter. There's no moral obligation to believe in the superstition of the state's authority on borders. Any libertarian who says otherwise is spineless. But what was I saying? Count Dankula is facing a very different situation because the people that are coming into, well, his country, Scotland, the people that coming into his community are obviously more foreign than the people coming into my community, which really is not people coming into our community. It's already been a community. This has already been it's just gotten significantly difficult for the community to be unified together because we're split right down the middle with a US Mexican border. The ruling classes of the US and the Mexican state, which the Mexican state, I'm not following a lot on it on Mexican politics, but it seems to me like the entire Mexican ruling class has just been completely controlled by the cartel for a long time. So I often think about it as like, is there really a Mexican state as opposed to the cartel, or are they really one and the same? But I digress. I don't even know much about that kind of stuff. The point is that, I grew up with, all sorts of people, but the dominant ethnicities here are honestly it's a lot of Anglo-Saxons, including me. It's a lot of Englishmen here. There's a lot of different other things, but basically just if we're to allow the anti-concept to have any value here, which is race, I don't really believe in the concept of race, by the way, but if we were to allow it for a second, white people, there's probably about the majority of people who live where I live in California is white people and Mexicans. Significant of those white people are Anglo-Saxon. We, I mean, there's obviously variety all over the place. If you go to America, if you visit America, there's, let's just say, for better or for worse, there's plenty of variety. And I'm not even talking about like ethnicities or race in that. I'm or, like imagine just broad like different characters. I mean like we're 50 countries. We're 50 states. It's so different when you go to place to place to place. It's all very different geographically, culturally, and values in society. All ebbs and flows. Of course, there is, to some degree or another, wherever you go in America, there is a sense of unity under the idea of the American nation and the American people. But there are about 1,000 tribes in this United States or more, tribes of different cultures and people. And in my tribe, it's predominantly people, the fair skin that looks like me, the white boy with the tan, and Mexicans. And I've grown up with them. I've grown up with legals and illegals. They're my countrymen. In defense of my countrymen, I feel very scared about the people that I grew up with that I've lost contact with, and I wonder what happened with them. Hopefully nothing bad has ever happened to the friends that I grew up with who may be facing harm from ICE. Maybe. It's a real possibility. I don't believe there's any ICE in California. I'm not sure. I would have to look that up. I should be doing my research before making videos, but whatever. And it's not even just about like ICE is after illegals. ICE is after everyone. It's not about legal or illegal. They go after everyone. They clearly go after Americans and execute them in public for being armed. Or hell, let's just start shooting lesbians. I mean, ICE goes after everyone. It's very sad. And it's very sad to hear people defend it. Very sickening. It has brought me into a slump. Not just the events of what happened in Minneapolis, but just everything leading up to this point. It's just brought me down. It's very overwhelming. I'm sure you all feel very overwhelmed too. And so, I don't know, this comment from Count Dankula really irked me. It's just like, this is my countrymen. I do value my countrymen. You mean my people? The people that, my neighbors that I grew up with and are friends with? That just so happened, maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm just not my business. I don't care. I've been I mean, like, I remember I've lost contact with this person a long time ago, but I remember this girl from high school, and I obviously won't say her name. But yeah, I don't know if it was her in particular. I don't know if she was naturalized or not, but it's about her parents, and it's about the threat of being deported. And at that time in high school, I was actually pro uh, immigrant restriction. I did not hit my libertarian phase yet. And so that was her basically pleading for our friendship because my values were attacking her values, and I was in the wrong. And she had every right to complain and plead that, like, please, Jet, don't be like this. And it was a warning. And at the time, I didn't heed the warning, but now I do. I was like, doesn't matter. The piece of paper doesn't matter. It's like, Jet, you are my countrymen. We are the same people. We are part of the same people. We are one people. And it's true. My family are not Mexican. My family came here through the counterculture revolution. You know, the summer of love in the 1960s, the psychedelic movement, the Jesus movement, all that has been going on in the Bay Area during that time. That's where my family started. My family is a family of immigrants. We were not here since 1850. We were not here since, I don't know, when the adobe buildings were built by the Catholics in the 1500s, the conquistadors and the Spanish. We were not there. No, my family was probably somewhere in England. Think about that. It's crazy. So I would like to plea for my countrymen. I'd like to plea for their safety, and my thoughts and prayers are with them. And so, for a message to Count Dankula, I do care about my countrymen, and ICE are coming after my countrymen.